Hello, I'm Perry Thrush. I'm going to show you how to repair an old axe head and replace this handle. This will save you money by making it where you have to buy tools less often, and also save you time by making it where you have to repair them and sharpen them less often. To do this, you only need a few simple common tools such as a saw, a drill with a drill bit, a chisel, a small one would be preferable, a hammer, and a grinding wheel and a wire brush. This procedure I have studied quite a bit, and I've gone through it a few times. So I feel pretty confident running through it with some other people. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do, if your axe still has something with a handle left on, is to saw off whatever's left of it first. So for this one, it's a double-sided axe, so it comes up a little bit above it. If it was one side, it should be flat, so you should be able to just shear it off easily. But for this one, I had to angle down. There. Okay. So after you do that, what you're gonna want to do is to quickly flip it over in your vise, and if it's got any metal bits, like in this one, somebody looks to have shoved some round metal discs in there to hold it in place. Then specifically the metal parts, you're going to want to take out whatever metal wedge stuff they put in to secure the wedge. You want to take that out so that you don't damage your chisel. So what you're going to want to do here is take a chisel or something and knock out as much of the old handle as you can to make space so you can work on the old axe head and put in a new axe handle. Okay, so once you remove what's left of the old handle, you're going to want to set it in a solution or vinegar, and it's okay to dilute it with some water. Make sure it's completely submerged and leave it for overnight up to a day. I just left this for overnight and it already looks quite a bit better, but whenever it's done, notice that it'll have a whole lot of residue on it and it'll stain your skin pretty well, so you might want to wear gloves. Then just scrub off whatever's left of whatever the residue's on there that you can just easily. And if you have a wire brush, you can scrape it with that. Okay, once you've taken off all of the remaining residue from the vinegar bath, what you're going to want to do is take a wire brush, or if you have a brush wheel, that'll be a lot more effective, and just brush off whatever's left of the rust. Okay, once you brush it off, it should look nice and pretty without all that rust on it. You might have a lot of burrs all over it. And if there's a big crack, then you're going to have to sand past the crack to get some fresh metal and make a new edge. And for that one, you're going to have to just try to make equal angles to come down to a point. But for this one, this axe doesn't have a crack in it, but it does have a lot of burrs in it. So for that, we're going to have to take it to the grinding wheel and just kind of knock them off and renew the edge, bring it back a little bit farther so we have a new edge. I'm going to pause it. Alright, right? Okay, so right here is a big burr. We're just going to take that off real quick. The grinding wheel has taken off all the burr material and just left a fresh new edge. I'll have to keep working at that. And then right here also, it's been dented in from people hammering the head on. And for that, we need like a metal file you can stick in there and file off that so you can stick your new handle. Alright, so once you finish sharpening your axe, you're going to take it on the opposite side where you finish and just run it along whatever you're using to sharpen it. On the other side, just really quickly to knock off whatever burr is on there, which is where the metal, when the metal bends whenever you're sharpening it, onto the opposite direction. Now you're on to the step where you put in the handle. You'll just drive it on, and to completely fit it on, you're supposed to be able to hit it from the top with just, like once you get it on pretty well, you snug it up by just tapping it on the top with a hammer, like this, and then you'll drive your wedge. Okay, once you've gotten your axe head fitted on the handle, you're going to see a slit at the top where you will put your wedge. You'll just place that in the crack as well as you can, and then take your wooden mallet so that it doesn't damage the wedge, and hammer in as far as you can. Just enough so that don't try to pound it in crazy hard, otherwise it'll break and splinter, and that'll ruin the effect of securing it. Then you're going to take a saw, cut it off flush, and then you can take some kind of metal securing wedges. Like these ones are, there's a big one for, like, you can do one of those or a couple of these little ones in like some kind of zigzag pattern. There's also ring ones that kind of look like a ball bearing just shoved in there that are pretty good for securing as well. I couldn't find any of those though. And then your axe should be ready to go. And if you made your own handle, then you're going to want to oil it once a day for a week, once a week for a month, once a month for a year, and after that, once a year for infinity. Okay. Thank you. Now that you've gone through this process, you should have a fully functional tool that is not only fully functional, but also functioning well. As long as you perform regular maintenance, it should stay this way. You need to remember to oil it and sharpen it regularly. Otherwise, it will fall into disrepair and you have to go through the whole process again.